Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about chapter number 6, that is life process, in our revision session number 5. This chapter number 6 we have divided into two parts for its revision session 5 and revision session 6. In revision session 5, which topics we are going to include in it? So first we will understand different type of life processes. In that we will understand nutrition in detail. In nutrition we will discuss about autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition, right? And different types, how autotrophic, what happens in autotrophic nutrition, what is photosynthesis process, that we are going to discuss here. In this nutrition we will also discuss types of heterotrophs, photosynthesis, steps of photosynthesis, and in heterotrophs we will understand about different types of heterotrophs or types of heterotrophic nutrition. After understanding this, we will also discuss about nutrition in amoeba, and after discussing that we will discuss about nutrition in human being or digestion in human being. So these points we are going to discuss in our revision session 5. So first of all, we know that what is called a life process. The process which is necessary to maintain the life, it is known as life process, and every organism used to perform different type of life processes. Right? Now which type of life process we have, children? So we can say that nutrition, then respiration, transportation, excretion, reproduction, control and coordination. All these are there. From this, in this chapter number 6, we will discuss this 4. Right? About nutrition, we will discuss in our revision session 5. Right? So first of all, what is just have a glance over the definitions of it. Nutrition means what? Nutrition means to take food and by that food obtain different type of nutrients which is necessary for our growth and for repairing of cells. So that is called nutrition, and we are taking nutrients by eating food, right? So that will be our nutrition. In respiration, right, what happens? Respiration means the nutrients which we have taken, to utilize it, that will be our process of respiration. To obtain energy from the nutrients, that process is called respiration. So first we take the food, that food it will get digested, after it is digested it will get respirated. So that will be our respiration. Two types of respirations will be there, that also we are going to study. Then we will understand what is transportation. Transportation means the food and water, right, to transport it from one part to another part in plants and in animals. We will discuss about it. Excretion means during this type of life process, whatever the harmful substances are produced, to remove that harmful substances out from the body, that will come in excretion. Reproduction means the process in which one can make similar organism like himself or herself. So that will be our reproduction. We are going to understand this reproduction in our chapter number 8. Control and coordination. It's a survival process which every organism do due to change in the environment. So we are going to discuss about this. In this session also we will discuss what is called respiration and only types of respiration, right? And the breakdown of glucose, already we have discussed all that things that we will understand in our session number 6. So this way, in this session we are going to understand about life process. In that, the first is nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion, reproduction, control and coordination, right? So first we will discuss what is nutrition. You can go throughout the previous video, in that all of that is explained in detail, but this is a revision session, so we will have only a glance of it. Okay, so as we discussed that what is life process, in that we discussed nutrition. Nutrition is the process in which organisms obtain nutrients from the food for developing themselves. In mode of nutrition, we will have two types. First is autotrophic mode of nutrition, and the second is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now it's very easy. What is autotrophic mode of nutrition and what is heterotrophic mode of nutrition? We have discussed that in our previous videos, but here we will just take a short glance on it. So what is called autotrophic? Auto means self, means the organism which prepare their food by themselves. They are called autotrophs. By using sunlight, by using carbon dioxide, by using water and chlorophyll which they have, they are preparing their food by themselves. So auto means self, trophic means obtaining nutrients. So autotroph means they are self-dependent. They used to prepare their food by themselves. In autotrophs, chlorophyll is necessary, right? So how they are preparing their food? Generally, plants and blue-green algae are the example. So what they are doing, they are using sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, and they prepare their food. And this process, in which they use carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll, and they used to prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis, right? So that will be considered as photosynthesis process. So here nutrition in that autotrophics. Autotrophics means they are self-dependent, they have chlorophyll. So due to that, what will happen? By using sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll is already present in them. So by this process of photosynthesis, they are going to prepare their food by themselves. Here you can see the word photosynthesis, means synthesis of food which is done in presence of sunlight. Sunlight means photon, so that is called photosynthesis. So this will come in autotrophic mode of nutrition. In heterotrophic mode of nutrition, first of all, they will not have chlorophyll, right? So they cannot make their food by themselves, they have to depend on other. So hetero means they will depend on other organisms, right? Now as they depend on other organisms, according to that we will have different types of it. We are going to understand that different types here, but here just we are taking its main point. So they don't have chlorophyll, they depend on other different animals, right? They are example of it. Here you can also take different bacteria as an example. As an example of autotrophs, different animals, they depends on other. They can't go in sun and they will stand in sun and they can prepare their food. They cannot do photosynthesis, so they cannot obtain their food by themselves. So here we can say no photosynthesis is done in them. So this we have studied in detail in our previous lectures, right? In previous videos you can get all that in detail, but here we are only taking a short point, that what is called autotrophs and what is called heterotrophs. As we discussed that in process of photosynthesis, what will happen? synthesis of food which is done in presence of sunlight, that is called photosynthesis, by using carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Plants used to prepare their food by themselves. So here what we can consider as food, already we have discussed that food, here it will be considered as glucose. We know the formula of glucose, C6H12O6, right? So by this process of photosynthesis they will prepare glucose. Now this glucose, it contains 6 carbon, right? Already we have discussed that it contains 6 carbon, right? So prepare glucose, water and oxygen. Now let's try to balance it. C6H12 so here what will get 12 to the 24. Here we are having 12, so here we require 6, so to the 24. Now check the oxygen. 12 here, 6 to the 12 and 12 24, 6 and 6, 6 and 6 12. So here we have to write 6, so it will be 12, so 22, right? So this is the equation of photosynthesis, in which by using carbon dioxide and water from the atmosphere in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, they used to prepare their food. So this is what, this is our glucose, right? Means these are food. Also it will release water and oxygen gas. Now how this process is done? Photosynthesis process is done in 3 steps generally, you know. In first step what will have, we will the plants will absorb the sun energy. So in first step there will be absorption of sunlight, means absorption of sun energy, right? In that we will have absorption of sun energy. After absorption of sun energy, what plants will do? They will convert that sun energy into chemical energy. The second will be conversion of sunlight or sun energy into chemical energy. So conversion of sun energy into chemical energy, right? So it will convert sunlight into chemical energy or sun energy into chemical energy. And in third step, what will happen? There will be reduction of carbon dioxide. So in that case there will be reduction of carbon dioxide, and what we will get? We will get glucose. Now glucose is one type of carbohydrate, so we can say that reduction of CO2 into carbohydrate, or here carbohydrate means it's C6H12O6. Glucose is one type of carbohydrate, so we can say like this. So this way we have completed our photosynthesis. You can go throughout the previous video and you can understand it in detail. Now we will understand heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Heterotrophic means it depends on other. If the organism depends on other. Now as it depends on other, so there are different possibilities. They can depend on dead and decayed substances, they can depend on the another living organism, or they take whole organism as their food or some of the part of it as a food. So according to that we will have 3 types: saprophytic mode of nutrition, right? Another one is parasitic mode of nutrition, and third is holozoic mode of nutrition. Now what will come in saprophytic, right? Saprophytic means which depends on dead and decayed organisms, right? It depends on dead and decayed organisms. So that is saprophytic. Different type of bacteria, right? Fungi. It's a certain type of saprophytic heterotrophs. Parasitic means here we will have parasite and host. Parasite, it depends on host. Parasite, it depends on host and take nutrition from host. Always this parasite will harm to the host, right? Different type of worms, we know that worms, it stay in our body. So worms are parasite, and when it stay in our body, so we are the host. So they take the nutrition from ours, right? So this is the concept of parasitic nutrition. They also depend on other organisms, right? So those who are dependent, that is called parasite, and on those who are dependent, that will be host. Like worms, they are dependent on us. So worm is parasite, but it depends on us. So we are known as host. So that is concept of parasitic mode of nutrition. And holozoic, in this case, it take whole organism as a food or some part as a food. So that mode of nutrition, that is holozoic. Suppose if we talk about humans or rat, they are holozoic. They have holozoic mode of nutrition. They depend on other, but they in some cases they take whole of the organisms as a food, and in some cases they only take some of its parts. Like if we talk about radish, right? If we talk about carrot, right? So what happened in carrot, we are taking its root as a food, but in radish we are taking its root also, and we are taking its aerial part also as a food, right? In this example will be humans, amoeba, rat, etc. Right? So this will be our heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now see, in photosynthesis we have understood. Then we understood the types of heterotrophic nutrition. Now before understanding nutrition in amoeba, one more thing we have to understand, right? That can be asked in 2 marks or 3 marks, that how closing and opening of stomata is done. We know what is stomata. If we talk about leaf, so the small pores, right, that is considered as stomata, and we have guard cells around the stomata, right? We have discussed this in detail in our regular sessions. You can go throughout the video and it will be very easy to understand. Now we know when water rush into the guard cells, there will be opening of stomata and exchange of gas will take place. And as the water is removed from the guard cell, our stomata will get closed. You can understand it by watching our previous sessions video. In that it is explained it in detail, but here we are just taking it the concept that they are protected with the guard cells. Water get inside the guard cells, stomata will get open, exchange of gas will take place, water is shrink from the guard cells, so stomata will get closed, and there will be now no exchange of gases. Now our next topic is nutrition in amoeba. Now how nutrition is done in amoeba? We know that with the process of diffusion, these are the key points. It performs holozoic mode of nutrition, right? In different steps, I am just writing the main points. I am not going it in detail. You can go through the previous video, but this is just a revision session. So if you have seen the previous video and if you have prepared your worksheet very well, then you can easily revise it. First step was our ingestion. Second step, that is our digestion. Then it comes to absorption. After that, there will be assimilation, and in last we will have egestion. Right? So this way, by process of ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Right? This is not key. Okay, don't forget it. That will be our egestion. So first is ingestion. Ingestion means the process in which amoeba takes food inside its body. For that, what amoeba will do, as we know that suppose this is a food particle and this is amoeba, right? So in the process of ingestion, what amoeba will do? Here suppose it's a food particle. So amoeba will produce pseudophoria. Pseudophoria means that is considered as a false leg, right? So this way, in the process of ingestion, it will have a false leg, or it is also known as pseudophoria. By this pseudophoria, it will try to inject the food inside its body, right? As the food is injected inside the body, now amoeba will create a vacuole, right? And in this vacuole, the breakdown of food particle will be done, and in this process of digestion, that will be our process of digestion, different enzymes will help in, like lysosomes, right? So after ingestion there will be digestion. After the food is digested, right, after it is broken down here, so what will happen, the absorbable components, it will get absorbed by amoeba, right? So that is our another process, that will be our absorption, right? So the nutrients which is absorbed, now it will use, right, it will use to release the energy, and that process is called assimilation. Assimilation means the absorbed particles to obtain energy from that will be our process of assimilation, right? And at last, in that amoeba, the unnecessary waste, harmful waste in the vacuole is there, it will diffuse towards its edge and it will thrown out from the amoeba, right, outside. So this way, by the process of ingestion, by pseudophoria, it inject the food. After that, in that vacuole, it will get digested. The digested particle, it will get absorbed. As it is absorbed, it will use to obtain energy. So that will be assimilation. After the process of assimilation, the harmful substances which is there in the vacuole, by the process of diffusion, it will be thrown out from the body, and this is our excretory substance of amoeba. And the last step, that is our egestion, right? So this way, by ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion, nutrition in amoeba is done by the process of diffusion, right? Here the food is diffused, and the excretion is also done by the process of diffusion, and amoeba perform holozoic mode of heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, students, now let's talk about human digestive system. That is most important question. Human digestive system. Right? First, we will have a glance on human digestive system. Then we will try to maintain its main words, keywords here. Right? Right now, here you can see I am having a picture of human digestive system. Right, from where our human digestive system starts. Already we have discussed it in detail in our previous videos, but just this is our points. So first it starts from mouth. In mouth we will have teeth, tongue and salivary glands. Okay, so here we will have teeth, tongue and salivary glands. Now we know what is function of teeth. Teeth will chew the food. It will break down the food. What tongue will do? Tongue will mix our food with saliva. And what is function of saliva? Saliva wets our food, so it is easy to swallow. Also saliva secretes amylase enzyme, which converts starch into maltose, right? And due to that we are having a sweet taste when we chew food more time, right? So this happens in mouth, right? So suppose this is the entry of our digestive system. This whole is our alimentary canal, right? So our alimentary canal starts from mouth. So if we want to write the definition of human digestive system, so what will be there? There will be a alimentary canal and some of the organs which is related to that. It makes our digestive system. So what happens in mouth? Already we studied teeth, tongue and salivary glands, and what is function of that? Amylase converts starch into maltose. Amylase is secreted from salivary glands. Now from here the food will enter into food pipe, or it is also known as esophagus, right? From that it will go into stomach. Now see, you can see that this is our part of stomach. Now what happens in stomach? There will be secretion of HCl, secretion of pepsin and secretion of mucus in stomach. HCl, it will give acidic medium to our stomach. It will break down the big globules and it will also kill the bacteria which is there on food. Pepsin, it is useful in digestion of protein. It's active pepsinogen which is helpful in digestion of protein. And mucus, what mucus will do, that it will protect our stomach wall from more secretion of hydrochloric acid, right? So this is done in stomach. Now with stomach, food is there churned till 2 to 3 hours. After that it comes to small intestine. Now see, small intestine, the word is small but it is the largest part of our alimentary canal. We have discussed in our previous videos that why it is called small intestine. Here the small is due to its width. Its width is small, so that is called small intestine, right? So from that food will go into small intestine. With small intestine there will be liver, there will be gallbladder, right, and there will be pancreas, right? So due to this liver, due to this gallbladder and due to this pancreas, right, different pancreatic juice is secreted. Okay, so which type of pancreatic juice is secreted? So first from liver there will be secretion of bile, right? So what biles will do? Bile will provide us the basic medium. It provides us the alkalic medium which is used to titrate the food which comes from stomach. In pancreatic juice we will have amylase, lipase and trypsin. Amylase is used in digestion of carbohydrates into glucose. Lipase is used in digestion of fat, and trypsin is used in digestion of protein, right? So that is the work function of pancreatic juice which is secreted. Okay, so by liver, by pancreas and by gallbladder it is done. After that food will enter into small intestine. In small intestine there are finger-like villi. This finger-like villi, it's increase the surface, so absorption process of nutrients, it is done very easily. Now the food which is absorbed in small intestine, it is sent to blood, right? So this way nutrition is sent to blood, and after small intestine our food will enter into large intestine. See, this large intestine, it is not the longest part, it is large because of its width. Here you can see that the width of large intestine is more, so it is called large intestine. Okay, so also the length of small intestine, it differs in different organisms that we have studied. That if we talk about the organisms which is carnivorous, and if we talk about the organisms which is herbivorous, so generally in herbivorous the length of the length of small intestine in herbivorous and in carnivorous, it is different. Why it is different, it is explained in our video, so you can go throughout the video, you can refer the note and you can understand from it, right? So from that it will move to large intestine. In large intestine the water which is more, it will get reabsorbed, the nutrient, amino acid, the important nutrients, it will get reabsorbed and it is thrown out from our body by anus, right? So we have just taken a glance of our human digestive system, that how our human digestive system works. Here you can see that the picture of teeth is given, here the picture of stomach is given. We are not going into detail that how this layer of stomachs are there, right? Here we are having a picture of liver, here that will be anus. By this anus, right, at the back side of it, by this anus the food will be thrown out from the body, right? So this way we can understand our digestive system.